Hi, Dr. Kara Burkhart here. I'm so excited to tell you about some home remedies that we learn as naturopathic physicians, and I use them all the time in my house. So, for hundreds of years, people have grabbed stuff from their kitchen and from their herb garden and whatever they have around to apply as medicine. And I think we're too quick to go to the drugstore and get these little packs of pills and things for when you have a cold or flu or something at home. So this is really fun because most people have carrots in their house. Carrots are overlooked and just taken for granted. So after today, I hope you're looking at carrots in a whole different light. And I'm going to teach you two things to do. So carrots are actually really incredible because they have a lot of beta carotene. Everyone knows that. That's why they're orange. And beta carotene is really good for your immune system. It turns into vitamin A in the body and really helps with immune response. So we like beta carotene in general, but there's so much more to carrots than that. So I think that's how we think of it. And if you think about a carrot, I love this idea. Carrots are sitting in the ground, so if you're sitting in soil and you're a root vegetable, you want to make sure that all that water and moist sort of environment that you're in, that you're not getting bacteria or fungal elements. So naturally, carrots have their own antifungal and antibacterial compounds, which is cool to think about, but that does make sense. Think about sitting in warm soil. Like, you're going to grow something. It's like if you have a sinus infection, you have all this moisture in your sinuses and your mucous membranes, and that wet, warm environment provides a really good place for viruses and bacteria to grow. So that's why we don't want our sinuses blocked. So if you're thinking about a carrot sitting in soil, they have to have something that's antimicrobial. And traditional medicine has always thought of them for healing GI tract. And we know that. And so looking at it, there's a lot more to it than we knew at one point. So here's the first remedy. We're going to use it as a salad, just grated carrot, to regulate our GI function and keep bowel movements regular. So the antifungal component is called falcarinol, and it's a known compound that kills fungal elements. And a lot of you out there have gas and bloating related to yeast overgrowth in your microbiome. So naturally, everybody has some kind of candida, some kind of yeast. It's a natural part of our flora that's growing in our gut. But it's an opportunistic infection, meaning that if the balance of bacteria is off, or our immune system's off, or we're tired, or whatever it is, that the yeast will overgrow. So if you take a carrot and use one of those like cheese graters, those dome kind of graters, and you grate the carrot, you just wash it, you clean it. You don't even need to peel it. You grate the carrot the long way. You get this incredible amount of fiber in your GI tract, magnesium, and that beta carotene. But that long way keeps the fibers intact. So they're kind of like stringy, not like the little shredded carrot you can get in the bags at the store, but stringy, larger pieces of carrot is what you want. So you grate up a carrot. You add a thumb-sized piece of ginger, and you also grate that up, just like a little thumb-sized piece, and some olive oil or coconut oil, some vinegar, any vinegar you like. Apple cider vinegar is delicious. Whatever, lemon juice, if you prefer lemon juice. And then you add a little bit of salt and you mix that up. And that is perfect on top of a salad or as its own salad. You can add sesame seeds, whatever you want to do. That will actually regulate your GI tract. So it's really interesting. They call it the natural brush for the intestines. So these long, stringy pieces of fiber that you've got from the carrot. So that's pretty incredible that you can reduce inflammation in the GI tract, provide all those nutrients, give fiber for your good bacteria to eat, and regulate your bowel movements and your GI tract by having that every day. I also want to add in, because we do a lot of work over here at Cultivate Foundations with hormone health, that this carrot shredded up really helps your hormone balance, because it actually pulls stuff in, carrots. So the next thing that I'm going to have you make really, really speaks to this, but carrots pull in toxins and and pull stuff to them, this fiber effect. So as your liver is trying to get rid of all this gross stuff, like endotoxins, et cetera, other things that your liver's trying to get rid of, the carrot in your intestines will bind it, and in your colon will bind those chemicals and pull them out, much like charcoal does. So if you've ever heard of charcoal as being detoxing, carrots are doing the same thing. They're grabbing those extra hormones, et cetera, that your body's trying to get rid of and pulling it out through the bowel. So shredded carrot salad is super awesome for you, but you just have to grate it in a specific way. So that's a really good thing. And when people do this, I'm always amazed because they come back and they'll come back a week later and be like, I did that like 5 days this week, and it's amazing how my bowels are working so much better than they were before. And traditionally, we learned about doing that shredded carrot for people who have real inflammatory bowel disease, like diarrhea, constipation, all kinds of issues. So really think about doing that if you're having any GI issues or people in your family are. So that carrot is one way to do it. The second way to do a carrot medicine is to make a carrot poultice. And I did this week. I also told a patient to do this week. Carrots, again, you grate up the carrot and you make kind of a paste from it. And so a poultice in herbal medicine is just fresh herbs ground up into a paste. So if you think about the mortar and pestle, if you grab some fresh herbs from your garden and grind it up, you've made a poultice. Then traditionally we put that on wounds to heal or infections to heal things. I'm not really promoting that right now. What I'm saying is that everything that I just told you about the carrots, you can use topically too. And so a real traditional thing is to grate up the carrot, make a poultice out of it, wrap it up in a cloth. It can be cheesecloth. It can be a thin cloth that you dry dishes with, whatever it is. Just wrap it in a cloth and you put it over a sore throat. And it really relieves a sore throat because it's a strong anti-inflammatory and it tends to like pull things out. So that can be done with a cloth. But if you have any kind of inflammation, et cetera, the carrot poultice can be used over it. I had a person this week who had a cut on her leg that had totally healed over, but it was kind of bumpy. And so she was using it on there to see if it could like pull out and make the tissue more even as an anti-inflammatory. So on the leg, what we were doing was just shaving up the carrot and putting just a Band-Aid over it. And you can hold it there. But the carrot poultice over the neck is one we learned in medical school, and it really does seem to work. And it has some interesting results. So those are two ways to use carrots topically and internally. Just think of a carrot as medicine, and you'll see what happens. I'm going to give you one last little tip for the carrot poultice. If somebody has a some kind of, you got a thorn or you have some kind of sliver, try the carrot over it because it has this pulling action of pulling things to the surface. It's really interesting medicine, actually. So that was our second home remedy, carrots. The third one we're going to talk about next time is onions, using onions as medicine. So these are like soup stuff you have in your fridge. We're going to do onions next time. Good luck, everybody. Bye-bye.